Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and coffee stream number 120. And it's another Wednesday, so that means it's Wednesdays with Skep. How are you doing today, Skep?
Oh, I'm doing fine. It's lonely here at the Skep household. Hank,
Only.
you know what? I have got this. Oh, I know where that is. That's in Discord. Right. Sorry, I'm talking. You're talking to me. There we go. Boy, that is distracting. Sorry, I had to turn on. I had clicked it in one of the shield directories, and I forgot that turns it on. And so I was,
Okay.
when I brought it up in regular browser, I had forgotten that I left this thing on, so I had two of them talking to me at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
while I was trying to. So anyway, it's a lonely day at the Skeptalk household because the wife is away with the grandkids. It's spring break, and they have taken them tent camping. Now, those of you who know the Skeptalk family story with the grandkids, two of the grandkids are adopted, and these two girls are sisters. They had 20 homes in the last calendar year.
God damn.
Now, 20 homes, 20. That's not bullshit.
That
That
is,
really
wow,
happened.
that is rough.
Yeah, that's like a lot of them spend a week and we can't stand them. Spend a week. The father's got his hands all over me. They're two girls,
Yeah.
and they just. But they walked into the 7-Eleven of life and got the lotto ticket. Excuse me,
Yeah, they did.
to find my stepdaughter because she has just taken them right in, has already completely adopted them. They have changed their names, everything. They are fam, and they're
Awesome.
just loving it. So they're out camping in the East Texas stick in the big piney woods out there, and it was supposed to be nice. And of course, as soon as they got out there, all the weather changed, and now it's going to pour down.
I hope they've got tent flies.
Oh yeah, they actually have a really nice tent, a 9-person tent for the six of them,
Oh, nice.
and but I think their bike riding may be limited, and it may be. I wouldn't be surprised if they bailed on it if it's just too miserable out there. And that's also a place that gets flooded where they are, the specific place where they are, and
Oh, okay. That's
so
unfortunate.
yeah, the weather is not cooperating with them. But anyway, Skeptalk is bacheloring it with his 39-year-old stepson who lives at home, who people know he's autistic, but works for a living. He just needs to live at home, live with people who can take care of
Well,
some
at
stuff he
least
can't
he's got,
take care of.
at least he's got, a purpose, right? He
Oh
has
yeah,
a job and
he'll actually be able to retire from Walmart here in a couple of years.
oh,
Actually,
very
have
cool.
a pension from that, and then he can go to he just finished his degree in computer science.
Good for him.
Yeah. So, or actually, information systems, not computer science, information systems. He always corrects me on that. And, but so anyway, yeah, so it's
It's
kind
just
of
you and it's the boys.
it's
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 just
it's
the
the
just the
boys,
boys.
the boys and the bitches.
The boys and the dogs.
The three dogs, two dachshunds, and cute little Chloe, the fluff ball, miniature poodle. And we were hanging out, and they said, "Dad, what are we going to do?" And I said, "Shut up! I'm watching the Umbrella Academy." What's the Umbrella Academy, Daddy? Well, it's this show on Netflix that's like cocaine. Once you start watching it, you can't stop. It's kind of like a imagine the the school that all I can think is Jean Luc Picard. What was his name in the school for gifted children that he ran in?
The X-Men?
Yeah, in the X Men. Excuse me,
Charles
Charles
Xavier's
Xavier. Yeah, right.
School for Gifted.
That's it.
Yeah.
Imagine a guy who was him being a dysfunctional Nazi without a wife, so he creates a robot wife.
Oh God.
Oh yes, who is an even bigger Nazi than he was. He's basically borderline abusive to the kids. He's so strict with the kids. The kids are all dying to get out of there. They hit 18, they are gone. They never want to see the old man again. And except one. Anyway, don't get me to tell the story, but it's an interesting take on X-Men as a dysfunctional family. And they all call each other brothers and sisters. And so instead of just being a school, they were raised like family, and he actually adopted them. He bought the children from the parents.
Oh wow.
And he knew they were special because the women who had them were not pregnant the morning that they had them. That in the afternoon they had that baby. In the morning they had not been pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah, so everybody knew that these kids were something special. And there were 14 of them. He went around the world and managed to adopt 7 of them, 6 of whom turned out to be special, and one who have special mutant type abilities, and one who does not have mutant type of abilities, but you know that she does, and it's going to emerge that's a plot device. Everybody knows this, so we're just all waiting for it. But anyway, yes, I've sunk my brain into that.
That sounds like me with Mindhunter.
Really?
When I watched Mindhunter, actually because Scribe mentioned it, I basically gobbled up the whole season in
3 days. Right, yeah. Exactly.
Because Logan had just been born, so his sleep pattern was all wacky.
Yeah.
So whenever I was awake, because I have a really hard time, once I'm woken up, I have a hard time going back to sleep.
Right.
Like, unless I'm really tired. If I have to get out of bed, I'm awake for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I would just I would end up going and watching it. And Mindhunter was, I'm waiting for the second season. I hope there's a second season.
Now,
because it was directed by David Fincher.
Oh yeah, that's
and
right.
David Fincher he's the guy that did Seven.
Right.
And
he's awesome.
He is awesome. But so and Mindhunter was basically, it's about the establishment of the behavioral science unit of the FBI.
Okay.
And so it's set in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And it follows basically the founders of the behavioral science unit and all of the groundwork that they had to do, like going to all the prisons and interviewing all of the serial killers, including Terry. Oh, what's his name? Terry Boudreau, I believe his name was.
It doesn't sound quite right, but
no, it doesn't. It doesn't sound right. Terry was his first name for sure. And then there was, I don't know. While we're looking that up, I'm gonna say hi to chat. Let's see. Oh, Gun Fox, are you popping in from work? Let's see. Yeah, when you go camping, it's the roll of the dice. Yeah, that's true, Gun Fox.
Was it Terry Marcel?
Might have been.
No. That's not right. That's something.
Oh, hi, Pumpkin Trucker.
I'll find it later.
Peter Almond.
Yeah.
Robert Burke.
Gunny's here. Ryan Rawlings. All you need is here. Welcome all.
All you need. Yep. Hello. Welcome.
Nice to have you guys with us here on what feels like, at least in Texas, a rainy Wednesday morning. By the way, not to talk about the weather, what they tell you not to talk about on stream, but how's the weather up in Canada?
It's well, where I am, it's getting warmer.
You're
For
8
us.
days away from the first day of spring, so
Yeah, I know.
yeah, like that means anything.
We're probably gonna get snow at least until April this year because winter started late for us.
God, that is just wrong. Hi, Greg. Nice to see you. Greg Rogers just popped in.
Oh. So I saw a story that I was just reading Twitter. And I happened to save the story. And it's about a doctor using a robot to tell somebody that they're dying.
Oh, I saw that. I actually saw that. Oh my God. Yeah, and I forget who was talking about that on Twitter.
I
But,
saw it was I saw I
Jack
think
Cochran,
it was Jack
probably.
that
Yeah, it was Jack.
it was Jack, yeah.
Oh, guess what? All You Need got it. Terry Blair, that's who it was. Terry Blair was the
Terry
serial killer.
Blair. Okay.
Yeah, it was the killer they interviewed. And that is correct. I checked. Yep. So anyway, go ahead. Keep going.
So I just wanted to I saw that and I was gonna read it yesterday when I was gonna do a stream, but I decided not to. But I wanted to get your take on that because I know you guys had to deal with being told that someone in your family was going to die, and it was already very, very, cold because all they said was basically, what is it?
I'll tell you exactly what they said. We walked in and they said we finished reviewing your blood for the week and we want to talk to you and discuss your care. And so we walk in. The oncologist walks in and says, "Okay, it's obviously there you had increases in all of the tumor sites, and in spite of the fact the blood work seemed to be getting better, that was he explained this complicated antigen thing that was going on." And he said, "So, but this will complete the standard course of care." And he walked out. He just told you that you're going to die. He just told you that your cancer is going to kill you.
Yeah.
That's how doctors do that. That's how some oncologists do it. Now, some oncologists get very personal about it. Typically the young guys. This guy was an old guy. This guy was like a 60-year-old guy.
Oh, okay.
And he was just like, another dead one. Get out of my face, And Julian is standing there, my son-in-law, and he said, "Well, are there any alternatives?" And the nurse came in and talked with us. And we said, "Is there?" Well, she said, I guess you could look around, maybe on the internet. Maybe on the internet. Okay, so you're not going to help us anymore. I mean, you just feel completely let down by those people. They can't even come up with as much as "I know how you feel," or we see a lot of people. We know how this must feel. It's just like we've got other patients to see.
So now, how would you feel if a robot told you that by video?
It wasn't too much different than what we got. It was the thing about it was a robot. I would not have the expectation of some human connection. With the doctor, I did, and that made it worse in a way because he was so disappointing. Now that may be just my own emotional reaction to that, but as far as a robot telling it, not even bothering to get a warm body in the room to tell him, that is just that devalues human dignity to a point that I cannot even express how disgusted I am with that. It the thing Jack and I actually went back on Twitter about this, and I'm actually trying to find our Twitter back and forth because it was kind of it kind of had to do with that, here. Oh, there it is right there. All right. So Jack Cochran sends out, somebody really, really wants her dead. Oh, wait, no. Let me just go to his site. That was another one. Went back and forth on. Jack does a lot of tweeting, and I just love his tweets. There are very few people who I troll their feed. He's one. He's one of about 6 or 7 that I just will go to his feed and troll it because he's got interesting stuff there. But I want to get to the one that he posted.
Pumpkin Trucker says, yeah, that's the last thing I need. Data telling me you gonna die.
That's it. All right. So Jack posted a picture from the BBC News, and it shows the actual thing on there. And you see the doctor is sitting in a chair, and it has like a tablet slung underneath it on like a piece of twine. And so his doctor tells me, and he's dying via video robot. And the patient's loved ones, this is the BBC caption, the patient's loved ones say using the robot to deliver the news was an atrocity. And so what Jack said was, this is cold and a little monstrous. He posted it up there. And so I posted back, that was a mistake for sure. We don't know that the doctor had not been up for 72 hours doing 3 doctors' work because they've been chased to the U.S. by the Public Health Service. So let's find out what was really going on. But yes, what happened was at least unfortunate. I think Jack thought that I was sounding like I was unsympathetic because he came back pretty hard. He said, there are other people around, other doctors and nurses. It's impersonal to hear that kind of news from someone on a screen. I realize that doctors are busy, but every person deserves some level of respect and treated with dignity. At minimum, it's lazy and impersonal. And he was exactly right. I said, also, at a minimum, it is disrespectful to the patient. A dog at the vet gets more attention. And that was, kind of where we left it. It was, it's a disgusting thing to do.
Greg is asking, have you seen what's happening at, I believe, Sarah Lawrence College? It's a private liberal arts college. No, I'm not familiar with.
Oh, I know Sarah Lawrence. I knew a bunch of ladies who went to Sarah Lawrence from when I was in school. But what is going on in Sarah Lawrence?
Oh my God!
It will be liberal. Let's see, Sarah Lawrence college students protest politics professor over conservative op-ed. Activist students demand Sarah Lawrence College punish a conservative. And this was 19 hours ago. I'm sure this is what it is. The activist students demand Sarah Lawrence College punish a conservative professor for expressing his views. The college must issue a statement condemning the harm that Professor Abrams has done to the college community, specifically queer, Black, and female students. A group of activist students at Sarah Lawrence College, calling themselves the Diaspora Coalition, have released a long list of demands after occupying the campus's main administrative building for 24 hours. One of these demands concerns Samuel Abrams, a tenured professor of politics. Abrams is conservative-leaning and has complained about the ideological bias of leftist administrators in the New York Times op-ed. Last November, his office door was vandalized by unknown persons who wanted him to apologize to marginalized students and quit the college.
Okay, then.
Now the Diaspora Coalition is demanding that Sarah Lawrence review Abrams' tenure, take him out into a meadow, strip him naked, pour gasoline on him, and set him on fire.
Yes, I don't think that's what they're actually asking.
No. They are demanding a review, and they said the review should be conducted by a panel consisting consisting of members of, you guessed it, the Diaspora Coalition, as well as faculty members of color. In addition, the college must issue a statement condemning the harm that Abrams has caused the community college, specifically queer, black, and female students. The demands continue. The college must also apologize for its refusal to protect marginalized students wounded by his op-ed and the ignorant dialogue that followed. Abrams must issue a public apology to the broader Sarah Lawrence College community and cease to target Black people, queer people, and women. Doesn't tell them what they're targeting with, just target them. He's just targeting them. I guess he's shooting at them.
Wow.
So, which doesn't sound like an absolutely terrible idea. No, I'm just teasing. Well, they are students, though. Anyway, at least 25 Sarah Lawrence professors stand by the demands. Let that sink in. 25 Sarah Lawrence College professors stand by the demands, which include a variety of additional progressive goals, according to the campus activist publication, The Phoenix. And so there.
Wow.
They've lost their minds. You know, if you let those people have anything they want, they'll take everything you have. And at some point, somebody's going to have to stand up to them firmly and just say, no.
Yeah.
You can't have that. Okay. Well, we demand some of it. No, you can't have any of it. Not one thing. Not one thing. And if you're caught misbehaving, we have standards of conduct that you students are being grossly guilty of violating. We're going to start enforcing them. We're going to start expelling students. And you can riot. You can do whatever you want. If you riot, we'll expel you too. We have a college to run. They've got to take this in hand.
They do, and I've heard that there are some universities that are starting to say, "Listen, you guys need to stop this crap. You're here to learn. You're here to, grow and get knowledge, and sometimes that's uncomfortable. Deal with it."
Right. That's, that feeling of pain, that's ignorance leaving your body.
Yeah.
Dumbass. How, and Sarah Lawrence College does those children, and they no service at all by keeping them children, giving them safe spaces. They have something at many students, at many colleges, and I'm sure they have at Sarah Lawrence, what they call a screaming room. And it's like a little closet that has cork damping around it, so it's soundproofed, and you can just go in there and scream.
Oh, okay.
And but you have to be like a white straight male could not do that.
No, of course not.
But a woman, and all women are rape survivors, because 100% have been raped, could go in there and scream.
They have one at the University of Guelph. Are you serious, Pincalo?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my God, no way. Oh. That's disgusting.
Duck Dog says, can you imagine this happening at Paul Smith College? Now, I don't know Paul Smith College. Let me check real quick. I've heard of it, but I don't. Paul Smith College, Adirondacks.
That's another college I've never heard of.
It's like a forestry environmental science, and it's hotels and forestry management kind of a deal. I think if that's.
Oh my God! And there's one at Laurier. Fuck! I'm glad I don't go there anymore. God.
Oh yeah. Yeah, academics has a long tradition of providing hands-on education with coursework applied in a variety of fields. For example, students in the forestry program participate in professional timber harvest operations. I can already tell you, Paul Smith's, and it's Smith's. It's not Smith. It's Smith's. Paul Smith's college is actually educating people. Yeah, you can see very clearly. Kind of a generalized liberal arts degree, but big focus in the forestry and the culinary arts, pastry and bakery arts, arboriculture, landscape management, that kind of stuff.
Oh, I see.
But also things like biology, psychology, and so forth. Not seeing the English literature type stuff. It doesn't look like a complete.
Interesting.
But let's see. Notable alumni: John T. Dillon, Chairman and CEO of International Paper. John L. Luther, CEO of Dunkin' Donuts and President of Popeyes. Steve Ross, CEO of Time Warner. Do we see a pattern here? Don't see a lot of protest singers or actresses. Crazy actresses.
I'm sorry, I'm in the Discord. I just saw a story that says cars should be banned near schools to prevent air pollution.
Oh, that's thinking. That's thinking. Yeah, that's thinking. What your Discord,
the news for the coffee stream channel.
Yeah.
There's like a whole shit ton of stories in there. I think it's near the recent.
Cars should be banned. Let's see. I'm looking at stuff.
That was far back. Here, I'll just post it in side chat.
There's a lot of good stuff in here. I should come here and look more often in getting ready for Wednesday with you, because there are a bunch of great stories in here. Pancalo stuffs this thing, doesn't he?
And actually, that's Gunfox.
Is that Gunfox?
That's all Gunfox.
Oh, cool. Thank you, Gunfox. Gunny, make it happen.
Yeah, that is all Gunfox. That's where I come basically first.
Yeah.
Every day. I'm like, what's in there?
I need to check that, because I tend to go, what's Twitter trending on Twitter, and then I keep a list of interesting stuff that either for this stream or my stream later tonight, and that's 10:30 Central Time, 11:30 Eastern Time on the Minions of the Zeus channel. And you'll be there, I hope.
Yes, I am going. I'm going to be there.
Good. And so we can, that tends to be the way that I prepare, but I wasn't stopping by there. I don't know why I wasn't. I think I didn't, it just wasn't in my brain. It just wasn't, how things, you could be aware of something and you just don't do anything about it. But anyway.
There we go. It's in the Hangouts chat. I've posted the
check that out
story about the cars.
All right.
I think it's from the UK.
Did it? You posted it up in where? Because it's not in our side chat.
Oh. Should be.
Yeah, I'm looking at Hangouts. It's absolutely blank. There's no chat. Did you send it? Did you type it in and not send it, maybe? Or
no, I put it there on my I went in on my phone and I put it in. Let me see if it's in here on my computer. If it shows up on my computer, then...
Was it on the Independent? Cars should be banned near schools to tackle air pollution?
The Sun or the Independent.
It's the Independent. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the article. I just went and Got it.
Okay.
So let's see. And then they have pictures of New Delhi, and New Delhi is horrifying. I mean, it's miserably polluted. Let's see. Professor Paul Cosford, Director of Health Protection and Medical Director for the Public Health, whatever it is, Borg, told BBC Radio 4 today program on Big Brother Presents, "I'm a doctor. I see a figure of 35,000 to 40,000 people each year dying as a result of the harm that is caused by air pollution."
Oh, yes, I'm sure that's
He
the
sees
number.
30
He
to 40.
himself.
Whoa,
Yes.
man, he's got to happen in practice.
He himself sees 30 to 40,000 people a year dying from air pollution.
And he's an administrator. He doesn't even see patients, but he sees that many patients.
Okay. Does he practice in China?
Yeah, maybe it's an alternate reality. Anyway, and once the technology is available, the things that we need to do, we know about. So this is a matter of how we take the issue as seriously as we need to, and how we move the technologies and the planning and all that into reality, so we actually deal with this problem for us and future generations. Here's the problem. Doc, you asshole. We can't figure out what really causes pollution. We can't figure out what's going on with the Earth as a system, okay? Al Gore wasn't wrong when he said that, the sea levels were going to rise, okay? He actually was not wrong about that. They rose. Guess what else happened? Plate tectonics more than matched the rise of the oceans, to the point where there's actually a little bit more beach in Florida than there were when he made that prediction. Nobody saw that coming. You know why? Because this stuff is way too complex.
Yep.
For us to measure. We haven't even started on the research that it would take to understand what goes on with the Earth. All the things that happen on this complicated pile of rocks banded together by gravity with unfathomable amounts of energy stored in just below the crust of the Earth. The Earth is amazingly hot inside.
Yes.
People don't realize it. It's and that heat will tend to radiate up into us. We don't know how much global warming is, or climate disruption, or whatever they want to call it these days, is caused by that. We can't measure that. But see, here's what happens. These guys say, well, if we just stop all the cars, then there won't be any more air pollution. It's like rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. Get them just perfect. Then you'll have a perfect set of deck chairs for when the ship goes down.
Yeah.
We need to figure out, if we're sinking, if we are, why are we sinking? What's really going on? And these guys who want to spend all this money, doing stupid things that aren't going to help us anyway, because we don't understand what problem we ought to be attacking. It just makes me tired.
Pink Carlos said, fine then, fuck it. Let's go back to horse and buggy. 10 hours to get a block.
Yeah, but here's the problem with horse and buggy. There was an actual thing that was beginning to happen, especially in the populated areas, places like New York City and Philadelphia. We're having public health crises because of the accumulation of horse shit in the street.
Yep.
And so you can't you can't go back to that either. We have to find solutions that make sense. And unfortunately, that occupies usually a very unsatisfying, emotionally middle ground of both caution and, serious and sometimes expensive research.
Pincalo was watching a video yesterday. I can't remember who it was that did it, but was talking about AOC and her hypocrisy about wanting everyone in New York City or New York State to get an electric vehicle.
Yes.
And want them to receive both state and federal tax rebate for it.
Well, sure.
And
why the hell not?
But lobbied against an apartment complex with 36 units of affordable housing, because the other apartments that weren't affordable housing were like too luxurious or something. Or that $850 a month in affordable housing was too or not enough or something like I don't know. And yet her apartment in DC is freaking completely
it's like Watergate,
ridiculously luxurious in a complex that offers no affordable housing.
Right.
And the dumb bitch flies from New York to DC instead of takes the train.
Yeah, she's a complete hypocrite. And I'm beginning to think she's actually quite stupid. From what I can tell, is she's kind of somebody who was given a lot of passes going through life, and including college, and she didn't really get much of an education because she does not show that she can ask that she knows how to critically examine questions. I've never seen an example of critical thinking from her. Not one. I hear a lot of sloganeering and a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's so obvious. It's on its face. It makes no sense. And she's got that Chakramarti or guy, whatever his name is, who's her chief of staff. He was the one, he and a buddy had tryouts for this congressional seat. They literally had auditions. I'm not making this up. They even admit it. And so we wanted to get a candidate who'd be attractive and could primary the.
Who's going to be Miss Democrat?
That's exactly what it is. And she was chosen, and they literally told her what to say. Wrote every speech she gave. She wrote none of it, and they're being completely upfront about it to their credit that this was their operation completely. Of course, then he embezzled $1 million into his companies, which may be a bad thing.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, but that he'll at least get fined for that. I think that's all that will happen to him for that. That's just considered almost like an accounting error. But
all you need says AOC can't math, and then he says, "Are you really surprised to find out she is such a hypocrite?" No, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
it's just aggravating beyond all belief.
She's enjoying the good life right now. Really enjoying the good life, and doesn't care a hoot about anybody else really, other than sticking it to people she's been told are the evil ones. I'd like to know what she really thinks. So I would like to know, what her real thoughts about things are, unfettered. I bet that she is cognitively between 12 and 14 years old. Literally.
Yeah.
You're literally dealing with a child. And she's a little bit built slightly brighter than average. But has a lazy mind. She's never been challenged, and she made it through a college with plenty of safe spaces, and they never taught her critical thinking. There you go. That's what that's one of the things you're supposed to learn in a college, especially in a liberal arts degree. And I love, it's funny when you go and look at her degree at Boston University.
Yeah.
That's not really an economics degree at all. She had like 2 survey courses in economics. Wow. Yeah. The economics of the third world is one.
You and Prospero were looking up her
we went through the course offerings, right, for that major. And Prospero told me about it. She'd gone through it, and I went through and checked on it. And it's just like, really? God, I went to college at the wrong time. I could have had a pretty good time. You when I went to college, I couldn't take enough courses. And these were hard courses. I went to a hard school where it demanded a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You had to put in a lot of work just to get a B. To get a C was considered satisfactory. To get a B, you had to work your ass off. In one of my courses, the teacher got up and he said, "The last A I gave was 2 years ago."
Wow.
Professor Francis Hsu, very famous man, the inventor in the world of psychological anthropology. And I took his course, psychological anthropology, and he said the last A I gave was 2 years ago. And I got a B in that course. I was very proud of that. I had to work my ass off. I was taking all the free university courses I could take, all the, interesting stuff that, was just offered usually at night.
Mm-hmm.
And, I wanted to fill my brain. I wanted to learn as much stuff as I could. And I don't understand these. Well, I do understand. They're just children who they've never been challenged. They don't know the value of working hard and getting ahead.
It was ridiculous. Like when I was in university, because when you register with the accessibility department and you go as a disabled student,
Mm-hmm.
you get a part-time course load. Mostly because it does take a bit longer to read Braille than it does to read print.
Okay.
So
takes me a lot longer. and I can see the frickin' Braille.
And they have to put your textbook into Braille and everything. So it's just to basically accommodate your acquisition of the information.
Yeah.
But I took my language courses, which I didn't have to really work hard in. German, I had to work a little bit harder than Spanish, but I didn't really have to work that hard. History was a little bit different. I had to work a little harder in history. But that history course was actually interesting. It was a world history course.
Mm-hmm.
From the beginning, and when I say world history, I mean from the beginning of civilization,
of the world, right?
Up until I think we did the Korean War.
So you went from to Korea.
Yeah, we did. But I kept hearing all of these, when I would be walking to class, I would hear these snippets of conversation. Oh, I'm not going to go today. I'm just gonna, mom and dad are paying for it. I don't really care. I'm just gonna.
Yeah. Pay for that shit yourself. See how many classes you skip.
And they're just sitting in residence that their parents are also paying for.
Yeah.
And I'm just and most of them, even the ones who had an apartment, a lot of them had, at least supplemented rent from their parents.
Sure.
And I'm just sitting there going, man, I've been paying my rent since I was 18 years old. I was in high school still, and I had my own apartment. I actually got in an argument with my principal because I had to sign out early, because when you're 18, you're allowed to do that.
Yep.
I had to go sign out early and wait and go home because the internet and cable were being hooked up.
Okay.
And Pinkala was at work, and my school was literally a 2-minute walk from the apartment. And that was the only time that they could come. And I was a part-time student anyway. I had one class left.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even a class, it was a resource period. So I'm okay, I have to go home and do it. No, you don't. What do you mean? No, I don't. That's ridiculous. And I'm like, no, I live on my own. I need to go home so that I can be there so my utilities can get hooked up. I just moved. Like, he's like, I had an argument. I had a thing with this lady. She insisted that I was faking my depression. She almost she went to the point in saying that a letter that I had my psychiatrist send her was faked.
Really?
Yeah. She tried to get me actually to leave that school. She was like, "Wouldn't it be easier for you to go to a high school that has a blind person there already so that you could share resources?" And I'm like, "No. My apartment is right there. Why no."
What's the matter with you?
And
What does your brain work?
well, and
Can I get somebody in here whose brain works?
the only reason that didn't happen was my mother was with me at the time. She just went, "I don't know, that seems kind of like a human rights issue."
Mm.
And oh boy, did that principal's attitude change.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's a hot button. I know you're not denying my daughter her human rights,
Yeah.
are you? Please say yes.
My mom was one of those. My mom was one of those ladies. Like we, I love telling this story. She took me to see Hercules, the Disney version.
Yeah.
I think I was about 8, and we went to the theater. And she always, when we went to a theater before the movie started, she would always speak to the people around us and say, "Now, guys, my daughter is blind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be as quiet as I can, but I may be speaking at some points during the movie to tell her what's going on. But I'm going to be as quiet as I can so I'm not like
Interrupting. Right.
disrupting everybody. But I'm just letting you guys know, right?"
Okay.
And everyone was fine. But this person ended up showing up late to the movie
And wasn't briefed.
and wasn't briefed. And they were getting more and more aggravated and finally got very angry at my mom, who was not like, she wasn't even speaking above a whisper.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised that they heard her in the first place.
So what did they say?
And they're like, they just were like, "Shh, can you shut up? Like, we're trying to watch the movie," something like that, right? And my mom's like, "My daughter is blind, you asshole."
Did she say that?
Yes.
Oh my. Oh my. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Making friends and influencing people. Hey,
Yeah.
blind, I'm going to have to get up and get right back.
No
I'll be right
worries.
back. I've got a dog
A
problem
puppy
here.
needs to go outside.
Exactly. I'll be right back. Hang on. Come on.
And Pincolo says the cars. Let's see. The cars, these guys, all these Chinese students that come here. Their cars cost $80,000 or more. Porsches, McLarens, Lamborghinis. Yeah, it's true. And then Pincolo says again, "And then there was the time you got pushed into traffic by a student." Pretty sure it was a student. Yes, so am I. So I was crossing the street coming home from school, and it's a very busy street. It's one of the busiest streets in our city. And I had just gotten to the um edge of the edge of the road, and some dumbass who wasn't looking was trying to cross the street from the other side and just bowls into me, and I get knocked back into the fucking traffic. And of course, it's now a green light for them. So I'm like scrambling to get off the road because, it's a green light for the cars that are moving in the direction that I was pushed. And nobody apologized. It was crazy.
Okay.
Let's see.
What did I miss?
Oh, I was just telling Pinkalo had put in chat that reminded me about the time that I was almost pushed in, or that I was pushed into traffic.
I think I remember talking with you about that.
Yeah, I was crossing the street. It was coming home from the same high school that I was just telling you about.
Okay.
And I had reached the other side of the road, and there was a student who wasn't paying attention.
Uh-huh.
They were trying to cross the opposite way, so they were coming toward me.
Yes.
And weren't paying attention and just bowled right into me. I had my backpack on, so I was top heavy, and they kind of like knocked me back into, like, I didn't fall or anything.
Right.
But I stumbled back into traffic, and of course by now it was a green light for the cars moving on the street that I had just crossed. So I was like, oh shit, get off the fucking road. And there was no apology. There was no.
Oh, of course not.
No. Oh, hey, Sir Adamantin.
Oh, Sir Adamantine is here.
There's a friend of yours in chat somewhere around here. Maybe you should look for him.
Hey, Addie, how you doing, bud? There is, and Jacob Navo is also here, I noticed. Anybody else sneak in while I was? Oh, Seamus Darby is here. And that's all I can see. I think we got everybody else. But nice to see you guys. We are
and I think Pinkalo's home.
Is it time for me to tell the story about the interesting YouTuber I discovered?
Yes. Please tell us about the YouTuber you discovered.
Well, I discovered him after 2.2 million people also have discovered him, but his name is Theo Joe. It's THIOJOE, Theo Joe, and he's a very popular YouTube. Has a big channel. Mm-hmm. And he writes on a variety of things. Most have to do with internet and technology and things like that. Some sample titles of his are like quick tip. Always check one thing before buying online from Amazon, or viruses versus malware versus spyware. Which one is what? What does each one do? Okay. USB 4.0. Oh Lord, it's coming. Or a quick tip. He has these quick tip videos. They're like 2.5 minutes long. The best Gmail feature you're not using. And another one is the one Windows 10 feature you must enable now. And he has other stuff on things like LTE versus 4G versus 5G, all these protocol stack things that computer folk know about. But if you're not technical, this looks like an excellent place to get a quick little rundown on what these things mean to you as a consumer or as a user. But he also does stuff like Nike's self-lacing shoe. It's just stuff he thinks is cool. The future is here, and he does a thing on their self-lacing shoe. And is Windows 7 still safe to use, or does it have too many security holes? Why you need gigabit internet in 2019. iPhone bugs he's discovered. And these hidden gem videos I just love. Things like, the top 10 dead websites. Cool stories about dead websites that
Oh,
he
very
does,
cool.
or the wildest new tech you didn't see. Hidden gems, of new tech that's coming out. Sneak previews of the coolest new tech. He does a lot of previews of technology. And anyway, just throw that out there. His name is Thiojoe, Thiojoe.
Is it all one word or?
Yeah, it's all one word. No underscores, no hyphens, no spaces. Thiojoe, Thiojoe, and he's got 2.2 million subscribers. He wouldn't mind a few more, I'm sure. He's a young man, like 25 years old, and just nice, affable, good-looking guy, and just talking about technology.
Very
Very,
cool.
very easygoing, very easy to listen to. Very, very pleasant to. Little channel. I was really happy to find that. I'm trying to think of who turned me on to this. I think it was Hammer. If it wasn't it, but I think it was the one time Hammer mentioned him, and
Okay.
I'll give Hammer some credit there. And this is a interesting guy, Thiojoe. So yeah, those are my two online things: getting hooked on the Umbrella Academy, and which, interestingly enough, has a gay trans character in there that at first you think, oh, that's shoehorned in there. This is, done for a certain reason, to appeal to, the social justice warriors. It turns out he's actually one of the most interesting characters in the whole thing. He's an absolutely wickedly interesting character.
Like
He's into sadomasochistic sex.
I have.
And he gets caught by the bad guys and they try to torture him.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he has an orgasm.
That's great. That's great.
And Mary Blige plays a time traveling assassin that you have to see to believe. She just plays it to the hilt.
See, now I don't see, because I was writing I haven't touched my book in years, but I was writing a book. And now I don't even want to frickin' publish it because I don't want to be heralded as like some wonderful inclusionary writer, because my character is, I refuse to call him Latinx. I refuse.
What is that anyway?
I don't know.
Come on.
But he's Latino, gay, and likes to cross dress.
Well, yeah, that's pretty high on the oppression stack.
And yeah, but I don't want to.
If he had a uterus, he'd be top of the mark.
Exactly, right? See, but then I could also be crucified for writing about that because I'm a white person.
That's right, cultural appropriation. I didn't think about that. What gives you the right to write about people that are different from you?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Charles Dickens used to do that.
Could you imagine just picking arbitrary things? Like, could you imagine blind people getting mad at me because none of my characters are blind?
Or Italian people. Well, Italian people getting mad at me because none of my characters are Italian.
Yeah.
By the way, I forgot. I have some personal news, and I'll share it on the stream. I got my 23, and it's not 23andMe, it's actually Ancestry, my DNA analysis back. I found out what I actually am.
Cool.
In terms of nationality. It was a complete shock. It was a complete shock. So if you're interested, I can go into that.
Let me guess, you're Jewish. No.
You're not terribly far off. In my family, it's just taken for granted that on 3/4 of the grandparents, 3 out of my 4 grandparents are Scots Irish. They even left Scotland at about the same time, stayed about the same amount of time in Belfast, in the Belfast and Ulster area, and of Northern Ireland, and then came over to the United States. That's 3/4 of my DNA. And then 1/4 is pure Italian from Gubbio, Italy, well-established lineage. We know that my great-grandfather that my grandfather was 100% Italian. 100% Italian. So I'm 25% Italian and 3/4 Scots Irish, right? I could not have been more amazed. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I showed this to Brenda, and she said, "You've got to share this with your family," because let's see, let me get there we go, get the ethnicity estimate. Okay, basically, English and like the Anjou and Brittany part of France.
Okay.
And Belgian, I'm 59%. What? That's amazing. Ireland and Scotland, I am 20%. I was expecting 75%.
Yeah.
20%.
So 59% like French.
Yeah, French and English and possibly Welsh. Okay. So I had those markers. And then Ireland, Scotland is 20. So that's 79% of me right there. Germanic Europe, mostly seeming to be about in southern Denmark around Copenhagen, 13%. Okay. Had absolutely no idea I had any Norwegian.
Scandinavian.
Yeah. Norway, 3%. What? France, the big part of France, the southern part of France, south and central France, 3%. I'm 1% Turkish and 1% Sardinian.
Weird.
Here's what there's no doubt about, who, what our patrilineage was. We know that my grandfather was married to one lady, and she was a staunch Methodist. She only slept with one man ever in her life, and that was her husband. We know that he at least thought he was Italian and was born in Gubbio, Italy. The only thing we can think of is that when the Bourbonis were crossing the mountains into southern France back in the 1600s. That's when bourbon cooking. That's when bourbon came to France. The Bourbon. There were Bourbonis in Italy. In fact, most French cooking is really transplanted Northern Italian cooking.
True.
Yeah. And so there was also a trade back of people coming from France and going into Italy. And that's what we think may have happened. And they may have settled down. They tended to be vintners, and my family are a bunch of winemakers in Gubbio, Italy.
Okay.
And that's what we think it is. They probably were French winemakers that came to Gubbio to grow the San Martini type grapes, and the other weird grapes that they grow in the high plains in Italy, in the high Apennines in Italy.
It says, but Europeans have been mixing their DNA for centuries. None of us are pure anymore. Haven't been for a while.
But that said, you can find it's really pretty interesting. They've done a lot of research to map what the historicity. I mean, this thing shows when in terms of the years, the people who have my DNA markers, who are my fourth, fifth, and sixth cousins, all settled in the United States. It shows where they're settled.
Yeah.
And it correctly identified many of my first cousins. It
That's
said,
very cool.
here's some, and they're just people who have gone in and done this too with Ancestry and have entered their DNA. And
How expensive is that?
this was like $75.
Oh, wow.
It's doable. It's not like $1,000 or anything. It's just like $75. And it was my birthday present to myself.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got this done. Anyway,
I know that
Turkish.
Turkish is interesting.
Yeah, that marker is all through Western Turkey to the Caucasus and down as far as Israel. It could conceivably people have my markers 1%. This 1% have these markers in northern Israel.
Yeah.
Oh, who knew?
That's very interesting. Like the cool thing is I would really like to do my ancestry. We've done it like mostly to sort out my father's side of the family, because we're all pretty sure about the Scottish side. Like my mom's family, like my grandfather's family, we go back to the Battle of Hastings. That's how old that family is.
You may think that you might be a black person from Kenya. I was so shook by when I told I'm letting my family know about this. I am 0% Italian by this. Oh, here's another thing. My wife had the 23andMe. We did two different ones, so
Right.
we could see, which one was better. I wish we'd both done Ancestry now. We liked her 23andMe. That was very interesting. But all you get is, here's the part of the world where you're from, end of story.
Mm-hmm.
With Ancestry, you get a lot more. It shows you when your family left Europe and came to the United States or wherever you settled. Mm-hmm. And it's amazingly right on the bat. I mean, you can see literally down to when my grandparents, my mother's side, moved to Waco, Texas, and my grandfather and grandmother moved to Baymonette, Alabama. And I mean, they even call out the cities.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely phenomenal. They did not know this about me. I did not enter any of this information in. They pulled this from DNA. Yeah, it's almost creepy. Almost creepy. Yeah. So, yeah, Sardinian. 1% Sardinian. What the fuck? Must account for my temper. I got a lot of bad temper from 1%, but oh well. Anyway, yeah, there you go.
Temper I hate my temper. I really do. I can't. It's gotten a lot better since I've had kids, but my temper is still awful.
Kids mellow you, and they help you in terms of becoming able to put up with stress and strain far beyond what you could before you had kids, in my opinion. My kids taught me about dealing with stuff. Just deal with stuff.
And they because it's also like to see them react when you fly off the handle at something small.
Yes.
It's just like, whoa, okay. It puts it in perspective.
You only do that once or twice.
Yeah.
And that's a good one, good lesson to learn early. God, I've got dogs lying all over me. It's so hot. I'm sorry. I don't, doesn't really mean very much to the stream, but I just had to gotta get some of this canine meat off of me. You know, little 100-degree bodies. It's like having little heaters everywhere. Anyway, yes, I wanted to pass that along. That I really like that. That was kind of fun. In other news, I'm playing Cookie Clicker.
Cookie Clicker?
I have become. I am almost finished playing this game. I'm almost finished letting it waste my time. It's a fun little game where you basically, it's an ongoing differential calculus program. At least you can play it that way because it's varying rates, and you're looking for efficiency of rates of creating cookies. And like I'm creating, I now have 312.149 quadrillion cookies.
Oh my God.
And I'm deciding whether or not to buy a fractal engine, which costs 310 quadrillion cookies, or upgrade my chance maker apparatus. I have 4 of those. They create cookies out of pure luck. And they'll create them at a certain rate. Like, let's see, if I upgrade my chance makers, I will increase my capacity by 499.235 billion cookies per second, as opposed to buying a fractal engine, which I don't know how the fractal engine will go, but it's probably a good bet that it's about 3 times the base rate of the chance maker, which I've upgraded twice. So I need to take that, take an eighth of that, which is basically 50. So it would be 150 billion. But then when I upgraded that the first time, it would go to 300, which would almost make up the difference. And then the second time I upgraded it, it would more than do that. And what you have to work out is, will it run for long enough to be in a relevant cookie producing range to be worth spending the 310 quadrillion cookies on the fractal engine, or to spend only 260 quadrillion and have 50 quadrillion cookies left over to upgrade the chance maker. But I think I'm going to save. I'm going to go ahead and spend it on the fractal engine. See, this is playing Cookie Clicker turns you into a monster. It turns you, you know, but my wife would say, I don't even understand you anymore. Just looking at it, just shake her head. And I can't really say I blame her. So this is, anyway, I'm almost done.
Oh, damn. Father turns up at school with loaded AK-47 because his son FaceTimed him in tears.
Who did he want to shoot?
Christopher Freeman admits he was upset but didn't intend to harm anyone.
He just had it for show.
This is from 2 hours ago.
Yeah, so he can be charged with possession of a firearm on school property, which probably is about a first-time 5-year problem.
This is from the Independent U.S. So yeah, the Independent U.S. Christopher Freeman was charged with possessing a weapon on school property.
Mm-hmm.
Or aggravated assault, possessing a weapon on school property, and disturbing the peace.
Assault charge.
Let's see. This is from Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. So a Florida father has been arrested after allegedly bringing a loaded AK-47.
AK-47 too?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a...
to a school because his son FaceTimed him crying, claiming that a teacher had pushed him. Police say Christopher Freeman, 27, turned up at Bear Lakes Middle School in West Palm Beach and started making death threats at teachers and demanded to so he's making death threats at the teachers and demanding to speak to his son.
Okay. All right. Freeman told police that when he answered the phone, his son was crying and told him a teacher had, quote, slammed him, end quote, according to Freeman. While speaking with his son, Freeman observed his son being grabbed by an adult and stated that he saw his son's phone flying from his son's hand. According to the report, Freeman stated he was very upset and headed straight to the school to check on his son. When Freeman arrived at the school, he threatened violence to school officials because of what happened to his son, according to Palm Beach County School District report. I'm reading a different report than you are.
Yeah.
Anyway, and the police say that the gun was loaded with 1 round in the chamber. The magazine has a 30-round capacity and appeared to be fully loaded, according to police. So it was ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. This is
So wait, first of all, he's 27 and his kid's in middle school?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. First of all, I guess good on him for staying in his kid's life, because that would have mean that he was like a 16-year-old
16-year-old father. Exactly.
But holy shit, dude. Why would you go to your kid's school with a fucking AK-47? With any gun. But an AK-47, because your son got, like, you don't even bother to get the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't come to the, like, yes, come to the school and ask questions, right? But
maybe leave the AK-47 at home.
Yeah, just a thought.
Yeah. Me, I'm leaving the gun at home. Now, if my son calls me and says there's an active shooter at the school, knowing Palm Beach sheriff's deputies like I do, I'm taking the AK.
Yeah. But if you're gonna, like, if you get a call saying my teacher slammed me.
Yeah, I'm going to say, let me talk to your teacher.
Yeah.
Hand the phone to your teacher, please. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't hit my kid. I'm not bringing the AK, but I am coming down to talk. And that way you don't have to go to jail until your son's 35.
Yeah, like, now what are you going to do?
Well, he's gone now. He's toast. He's I don't know if this guy has a record or if he has a troubled past himself. He looks like, a fairly typical middle class. You can't tell if it's lower middle class, upper middle class, but just middle class black man. No, nothing weird looking about him. Just a regular guy.
Yeah.
Just a regular guy who took an AK-47 to a parent-teacher conference. That's not good. That's not, if you're going to do stuff like that, you are going to forfeit your ability to own an AK. Sorry, but that's just what, I do believe in gun rights. I don't believe in gun rights for the insane.
Agreed.
And we do, I'm a libertarian, but we have to live together. And the society offers a better quality of life for all when we live together. And in order to live together, we have to know that we're safe from being fairly randomly picked off by a guy who's pissed off at what he perceives as bad treatment of his son by his teachers. I wonder what else is going on in this guy's life. I wonder if he's a snap mind with his wife and kids. Wonder if wifey's in the picture. Yeah, it's just hard to say. But man, yeah. West Palm Beach, father brought AK-47 to school, loaded, locked, cocked, and ready for fun.
Yeah.
Man, that's, people don't, it's interesting how naive the anti-gun lobby, I realize I'm kind of going off a different direction here, but the anti-gun lobby really has one of its strongest arguments, and I've never really heard them make it. And that is that if you have a person with an AK-47, somebody else it's not as hard as you think to take that away from somebody.
Yeah.
And these people who are saying, oh, for women, 110-pound woman with AK-47 is the equal of any man, blah, blah, blah. That's not strictly speaking true.
No.
And once it becomes a hand-to-hand combat situation, all that stuff you see in movies and Marvel comic universe about women beating the shit out of men, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Women have less than half of the upper body and arm strength of men.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sorry, it's hormones. It's just the way the bodies work.
Yep.
And you wouldn't have a chance of holding onto that weapon from a man who was determined to take it away from you.
Oh, absolutely. Women just don't have the same, like, we don't have the same upper body strength.
No.
There's a reason we don't have that upper body strength, because we have it all in the lower body to give birth.
Well, you're just constructed differently. Just constructed exactly, to give birth. It's not that,
Men don't bear children, therefore men don't need that much, the extra musculature and muscle groups in the lower body. However, men do, evolutionarily speaking,
go kill the elephants.
Yeah, they were the hunters. They needed the upper body strength to
kill the other men.
Yeah, kill either the other men or the other animals.
So that's just it. Anyway,
Greg Rogers says all the fun stuff happens in Florida.
Oh man, the Florida man file is a rich one. It's been documented by Monkey now for years.
Yep.
Hard to think of the Monkey stream as having been going on for years. Of the Lords of the Night has been going on for years, but it really has been on for almost 2 years.
That's crazy.
I remember the first time I listened to that. It was really when I was just a few months into listening to YouTube on a regular basis at all. Yeah. And I didn't even have the Skep Talk name yet. And actually went on their stream several times as myself. Yep. A really dedicated detective could go back. I don't know if they had the live stream. They couldn't get the live stream replay back from then because they didn't record that. But if they did have that, could probably figure out my real name. Yeah. Not that I really keep my real name that private, but I keep it among friends.
School suspends student who posted Bible verses in response to LGBT pride flags.
Oh my.
The student, Gabby Helsinger, believes that the school's decision to suspend her was unfair, I'm guessing. Yes.
This was from The Blaze, right?
Yes.
An Ohio high school student says that her high school suspended her for posting Bible verses at school in response to a bevy of flying LGBTQ RSTYXP
Elemental
in
Q. Yeah.
14 to the 18th power pride
Hi.
flags. The student, Gabby Helsinger, believes the school's decision to suspend her was unreasonable and unfair. What are the details? In a video shared on Facebook, Gabby said that she felt the need to write down and post Bible verses around the school after it had been inundated with rainbow pride flags. Okay, well, let's get down to it and find the uh, offending verses. So she wrote down some Bible verses so I could put them down around my school. Blah blah blah. I got called to the office, and there's a letter that says I have an in-school suspension, and the reason that why I have it is abuse of others, disrespect, rudeness, because I put Bible verses up targeting the school's gay straight alliance organization. I didn't realize the Bible knew about the gay straight alliance
I
organization.
know, right? Like,
Hard to believe.
when she posted the Bible verses, did she preface them by saying, Gay Straight Alliance
I'm, I'm, I'm,
Association,
I'm,
these are for you?
yeah. Um, She said, I did not know what the Gay Straight Alliance organization was or meant, but she noted that she believed her suspension was because the school places higher importance on inclusivity than students' religious beliefs. Seeing that there were people in my school that needed help, she added, they don't need to be living in the confusion, wondering if they should be gay, bi, lesbian, trans, anything like that. I know that God is the only way they can be healed by that, and that's why I did it. Okay, so she was doing it. They're sick. Here are the verses from the Bible that can heal them from their gayness. She says, I wanted to spread the word of God. And then the principal goes down, well, did you have permission? I said, no. And I didn't know you had to have permission because people do it a lot, putting post-it notes on people's lockers. So I just did it. Da, 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 da. It's not
Not
really.
showing what verses she posted.
Yeah, it isn't. But you know, I almost bet for sure that they will be the ones that
Leviticus 18 too.
exactly from Leviticus and Deuteronomy that say that it's wrong for a man to lie down with a man as if he were a woman. That's the crux of it,
Yeah.
and that's a sin and an abomination before God. And there's one particular verse that they, uh, you know, and also that man shall take woman to wife, and she shall be his helpmeet, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of stuff she could have posted that could be just straight out of the Bible about traditional male female roles, and
Agreed.
that
Yeah.
would be offensive to the gay straight alliance. So,
Oh,
um,
hello, Goat Man.
but there you go. Let's see. Hi, Goatman. Goatman.
Goatman.
Good morning, fellow Nazis. So that's the. Let's see what else has been going on. I have I have not been really watching Twitter trending. Let's go trends. Um, no, 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 no.
Whoa. California governor to suspend all executions.
Well, it's not like they. When was the last execution they had in California?
This is from BBC. So the governor's halting executions. Last
Gavin
execution
Newsom to
was,
suspend California death penalty.
yeah. And it says the last execution was carried out in 2006.
Yes, it's been 13 years. He says, is issuing a Governor Gavin Newsom, who cheated on his wife with his campaign manager's and best friend's wife.
What a wonderful man.
That's why Kimberly Guilfoyle is single. Yes. She was married to Gavin Newsom at one time. And he cheated on her. And
Is he the idiot that put the HIV, the knowing spreading of HIV as a misdemeanor, or was that his predecessor?
I don't know, but he's in favor of that.
Okay.
I know that. Gavin Newsom said that the death penalty is inconsistent with our bedrock values in a statement obtained by the Chronicle, which accompanies an executive order set to be issued Wednesday. I do not believe that civilized society can claim to be a leader in the world as long as this government continues to sanction the premeditated and discriminatory execution of its people. The government says in a statement, death penalty is inconsistent with our bedrock values and strikes the very heart of what it means to be Californian. He plans to order the closing of a death chamber in San Quentin State Prison and withdraw the state's procedures for lethal injections. According to the newspaper, this will not apply, however, to white cis males who will be executed even more frequently.
I knew that was coming.
This means he will grant the reprieves to. He is going to give reprieves to 737 inmates currently on death row. Some of these hombres are pretty nasty fellows.
So what? Where's the money gonna come to fucking house and feed these assholes for the rest of their lives?
That's a fair question. It will come from the taxpayers of California. California is already deeply bankrupt, and they're going to start taking the possessions basically from the citizens. And when that happens, look for a real California flight. It'll be weird because what will happen is in certain parts of the country, you'll have a rise in property values when the money starts to leave California permanently.
Yeah.
They're pretty close to that tipping point, I think.
I would agree.
You're going to get a real release of money of people just saying, you know what, it's a lovely place, and it is a lovely place. I've lived in many states. I have visited and spent significant time in 49 of our 50 states. And California is my favorite, period, dot. Colorado is probably my sentimental favorite because, I grew up there, but California just has so much beauty, so much natural beauty. It's just eye-popping. It's a beautiful place.
I can't wait. I gotta get my passport and the kid's passport because Pincalo's mother moved, or they left California a month before the fire. The Paradise, like the big.
Oh yeah, the big fire in Southern California.
They moved to Idaho. And apparently it's just absolutely gorgeous where they moved. They live on a river. Like they built.
Are they in northern Idaho?
Oh yeah.
By Coeur d'Alene.
Northern Idaho.
By Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
About 8 hours from Boise is where they are.
Yeah, that's Coeur d'Alene. Okay. There are basically two cities in Idaho, Boise and Coeur d'Alene. And they're in Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene's up in the skinny part, in the northern part. It's a real fat state at the bottom and skinny at the top.
Okay. Like a bottle.
Yeah, or a middle-aged man.
Or a middle-aged man.
And they're up, and that's, both places are pretty. They're pretty in different ways. But up north, man, is just absolutely spectacular. And Coeur d'Alene, Lake Coeur d'Alene, they do a lot of the car commercials there because it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
They shoot a lot of the footage of the new cars there. So that, but anyway, yeah, I used to live in Spokane, Washington, which is about 30 minutes away from Coeur d'Alene, just right across the border from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And Coeur d'Alene was in my sales territory when I worked for Pfizer.
I would love to visit Idaho.
Oh man, the air is so crisp and
the only crappy part is that I would I'd have to stock up on Tylenol and Advil because for my back pain and everything because that stuff's not legal in Idaho. But
do you get Tylenol with
no, the green stuff is not legal in Idaho.
What is green stuff?
The weed.
Oh, weed. I didn't think about that. They have medicinal in Idaho. Though,
yeah, but if you're going to visit, yeah,
that'd be a pain.
But his mom, Pinkolo's mom's coming up to visit, I believe, soon. So she doesn't get to visit very often, but she is Canadian. She just married an American.
Oh, okay. That's
Tylenol now with pot. I wish, Addie.
Tylenol with pot.
That would be awesome. It might actually work then.
Yeah, exactly. So
no, I don't enjoy the Tylenol, Advil, all that stuff. It's so bad for your liver. It's so bad for your liver and your kidneys.
Yeah, Tylenol's bad for your liver. Aspirin and ibuprofen are bad for your kidneys. But you're absolutely right. And Tylenol is much worse for your liver than ibuprofen is bad for your kidneys.
Yeah.
I mean, Tylenol is basically poison. It's basically liver poison. It accumulates in the liver. It causes fatty deposits. It causes precancerous deposits. It's just nasty shit. But there you go. Motrin CBD. Hi, girl. That time of the month. Get high and have some chocolate.
Yeah.
Motrin CBD.
So I might actually do audio for a video.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whose video?
I was on Facebook again and I saw a new mom. Her son's like 6 weeks old. Mm-hmm. And it's her first son, her first baby, and he's colicky. So, and some brilliant dipshit mom goes, "Have you thought about taking him to a chiropractor if he's in pain?"
Why, to make the pain worse?
I am so I keep hearing about people taking babies to chiropractors, and I am so sick of it. Man. So I want to do a rant about taking babies to get their spine adjusted. If you're going to be dumb enough to go let somebody crack your back as an adult and let them tell you that they're going to fix all of the things that are wrong with you just by cracking your back, fine. Right. Fine. You go be stupid.
Yep.
But don't do it to babies.
One thing you'll always notice about a course of caring in chiropractic is you never get well. Mm-hmm. They never make you well. Like I go to my doctor, I have a cold or something, give me antibiotics, and I come home and I get well. Or I cut myself and they sew me up and I come home and I get well. It's the and they say, well, that's allopathic care. We do chiropractic. It's more in the sense of osteopathy.
Yep.
That's bullshit. Chiropractic is, taking some courses in human physiology, basically undergraduate level courses in human physiology. So you can throw some terms around, and then some courses in A&P, anatomy and physiology, that probably are sort of at like a master's degree level.
Yeah.
And then they set you out and say, go practice medicine. Have a ball. And they're lobbying in Texas, of all places, to get prescription power.
Oh, no.
Which would actually be good, because what would happen is they'd start prescribing medical marijuana like you have never seen before in your life.
Okay, that could be a good thing.
Yeah. I'd probably try and get some help there. I really would. I really truly would. I mean, my back, I don't want to turn this into my thing, but I mean, it's something that there's no help for it. You just have to deal with it.
Well, that's why I love my little one hitter, because I don't smoke joints or anything, because I find joints, the smell lingers really badly.
It does, yeah.
But I just use a little one hitter.
Well, you don't have to get super stoned. You don't have to get wrecked out of your mind.
You just do like 2 or 3 every couple of hours.
And it relaxes the muscles in your neck.
Yeah.
Well,
for days that for right after my car accident, the recent one.
Sure.
I got a couple of capsules that have like oil, like THC and CBD oil in them. And that was really helpful.
Those are capsules like to swallow?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I always remember we used to make Alice B. Tokless brownies. It's a special recipe.
Brownies are awesome.
Brownies are good.
Pincalo made me a cake one year for my birthday with icing that had like all of the crystals from our grinder.
Yeah.
He put all of that stuff in the icing.
Oh, what a nice guy.
It was really like I couldn't feel my face. It was such a good birthday cake.
That was the best birthday cake I've ever had.
Yeah, pretty much.
Got any more of that cake?
It was awesome.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. But yeah, you can't even consider that in Texas. It's first offense 2 years. Possession.
You got a link for one of those? For what?
For one of those cakes. Oh, hash brownies. Yeah, hash brownies. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cheese brownies was a specialty. They actually tasted better than the Alice B. Tokless brownies. But both were good. The first time I did the Alice B. Tokless, there were basically crumbs of of brownie in a nest of marijuana.
Yeah, I find
eating it was pretty tough sledding.
I find that it's hard to get a balance for edibles where you don't where you're not
and not too much.
Yeah, because a lot of people make the edibles to the point where you take a bite and you feel like you're biting into a bud.
Right, exactly.
And you're like,
exactly what my brownies were like.
Hey, no.
I remember my fraternity brothers, they grimly ate them. And about an hour later, we were really happy we did. Turn on the Pink Floyd really loud.
Data Wasteland says, I have spent some money on getting my back cracked, but, and this is a big but, I haven't gotten my back cracked since I've slept on
on
a
an air mattress.
air mattress. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have not gotten any bad back pains. That's the thing of it is you have to realize that what you get at a chiropractor, you can get a better and safer experience from a licensed ethical masseuse.
Yeah.
And I'm not making a joke about massage parlors, but I'm talking about somebody who actually knows massage therapy. That was one of the things I took in the night school at Northwestern. I was about halfway through my qualification for the first level of license for a massage therapist.
See, Chadwick, you've got one of the better chiropractors then. He says that he doesn't just crack my back, he gives me exercises and works on how to sit and stand better.
Yeah, he's
That's,
ethical, and then some of them are.
yeah.
Some are more ethical than others. We're painting a very broad brush, and we realize
Yes.
that.
There are,
Fair.
my grandfather goes to a chiropractor where he just gets cracked and
Sure.
sent home.
No, that's a clip joint.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And my dad refuses, like my dad's like begs me not to go to a chiropractor, and I'm like, don't worry, Dad. I would like to go and try because there's a college in town that offers massage therapy as a degree.
Sure. You could totally do that.
So what I'd like to do is find out whether they do practice classes at like a discount price.
Yeah.
Because massages are pretty expensive, right? But
it's a good living.
If I can get, a 50-minute massage for $30 because it's a student learning, then that could be a good thing.
And the student massages, by the way, I would say, and that's half the class of our class time, exactly half. The first half would be the classrooms, and then the second half was literally hands on. When we would give each other, be talked through, hand placement and how to move it and how much oil to use and all this stuff. And you always went home feeling great because the students are striving to do it perfectly. I mean, we're trying to do it perfectly. Really, it's almost better than what you get from massage therapist who's been out there and it's just another day at work, right?
Yeah.
And they throw down a massage and they're not careful about putting their thumb in exactly the right place. There's some stuff you have to place your thumb and hold your thumb in a spot to suppress certain type of nerve impulses to keep a muscle from tightening up.
Mm-hmm.
And then while it's limp, you can really massage and get the lactic acid out of it and stuff. That
would be something that I wouldn't mind learning. Like,
it was amazing to learn,
especially when the kids are a bit older. Like, that would be cool.
Women do better, make more money in it than men. They just do. And I guess more people feel comfortable having a woman put their hands on them than a man. It's probably a mommy thing. But women do very well as massage therapists.
Honestly, massage therapy is the only thing that a blind person can mention, and everyone will go, "Oh, you'd be great at that."
What? You don't know if you'd be great at it.
No, I know you don't. Everyone assumes. Everyone is, "Oh, you're blind. You go by touch. You'd be a great massage therapist."
Oh, okay.
No, but nobody, like every other career path a blind person goes, somebody's going to be like, I don't know. Massage therapy, though, anytime somebody's blind that mentions, oh, yeah, that would be perfect for a blind person.
That's just, non-thinking masquerading as thinking.
Faithless says massage companies will use you up and toss you aside.
Yeah,
They'll
like
destroy
massage
you, she
envy.
says. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, massage envy. Yeah. They use you up and toss you aside. You can certainly feel that way. Yeah, I would like a sexy woman touching me too. It's not that kind of a thing. In fact, most massage therapists would really feel pretty insulted if you went in on that basis. They're proud of their craft.
Yeah.
And but
Faithless says your client would rest assured that you are not checking them out. That's true.
yeah, I mean, whenever I get a massage, the times I've gotten massages, my eyes are always shut
Yeah.
because I usually want to try and relax as much as possible and let all the slack out of let the muscle relax completely. And anyway,
Data says, where's your hand between the two pillows? Those aren't pillows.
those aren't pillows. Yeah, so it's a funny thing, but
Well, we got 9 minutes left, guys. So if
come
there's
up with
anything,
questions, guys.
yeah,
Ask
if
me
there's
some
anything
questions.
you want to ask or anything like that, now's your time. I'm gonna at noon gonna end and start making lunch so that it's ready for when Alex gets home. He's doing kung fu camp in the mornings this week.
Oh boy, everybody was kung fu fighting.
Yep.
Those fists were fast as lightning.
He's really enjoying it. He's been doing kung fu for a while, but this is the first time he's done the camp. They do one in March break, and they do ones all summer. So they're doing it. They're letting him do half days just because he's only 4.
Yes.
So they don't want to set him up for failure. So he's doing half days in the mornings, and my sister is there helping because she helps teach the camps.
Yep.
So she's there specifically to work with him. And he had a really good day yesterday. So I'm hoping he's doing well again today.
You'll find out soon enough.
Yep.
You'll find out soon enough. What would we do without kids and dogs to amuse us?
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm loving bringing this little puppy up. I love raising young dogs. They're so cool. They do such amusing things, and they'll touch your heart occasionally. It's really pretty wonderful.
Mm.
I would really be climbing the walls. I'll tell you that. I mean, my stepson does not. He doesn't. He speaks 200 words to me a year.
Oh, wow.
And that's because he likes talking to me. Okay.
Mm.
He probably speaks another 100 words to all other people during the year.
Okay.
So this is that. So I would be going stir crazy right now if I didn't have my friends like you, online and on stream to hang out with, and my dogs here to keep me home. My cookie clicker, which is taking over my life. It's like cocaine, but much worse, and more addicting and not as much fun. And but that's okay. Life is
Sounds
good.
much less productive than Mortal Kombat.
It's interesting. People ask me, why do you want to hang out with a bunch of gamers? I find the gaming mind is kind of interesting. I mean, games were not, when I was in my 20s, games were not available. I mean, the first Ataris had not even come out, and so you had to do stuff in real life. So I walked down to the Navy recruiter and enlisted in the Navy, and
Yeah.
got picked up for officer candidate school, and the rest is history. But that was a cool thing that I got to do. That was like a game I was playing in real life, where I actually got to learn a bunch of stuff. I mean, I learned so much in the first 2 years that I was in the Navy, first year and a half that I was in the Navy. I mean, it's just a blinding amount of training, drinking out of a fire hose too. I mean, and a lot of 6-day weeks, a lot of 50, 60-hour work weeks, to get all that stuff down. And you need to be able to, go aboard a ship and, in the absence of any other officers, be able to manage every department on that ship as a department head. That's what an officer is expected to be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
And stand bridge watches and keep the ship from running into things. It's a lot harder than you might think it looks. There's a lot of moving parts on a ship, not just mechanical parts. Keeping the human parts up, safe, working, and supplied with the stuff that they need to run a ship. I mean, it was a lot to learn. I was an anthropology graduate with, some chemistry and calculus, and, I did have some hardcore science work, but, all of a sudden I'm in a class and I'm learning celestial navigation. And this was done without a calculator, by the way. I want you to think about that for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So we're multiplying 5-digit numbers by 5-digit numbers, then dividing by another 5-digit numbers by hand. And you have to get that right every single time. And you might have 100 of those problems in the course of an exam.
Wow.
And if you fail that exam, you're fired out of OCS and you go to be an enlisted man for 3 years if they choose not to release you.
Wow.
Yeah. So pressure was on to do well. People think, oh, well, Navy, that was easy. No, it wasn't. I'll tell you straight up, it's not easy. It's hard. I'm smart, and I had to work my ass off. So there. Anyway, I don't know why. I sound like an old man.
Oh, Michelle, you made it to the U.S. Say hi to your fiance for us.
Who are you talking to?
Michelle Prong. He's in chat. He says,
okay.
Sorry I'm late. I'm in the U.S. having a holiday with the fiance.
Oh, excellent. Bienvenue. Welcome to the U.S. Aux États-Unis.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I think we're going to start wrapping things up here. Because I don't see any questions. But if you're around tonight, come watch Minions of the Zoo, which is on at 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central, 8:30 Pacific, right?
8:30 Pacific.
Yeah, 8:30
9:30 Mountain, if you want to get that in there.
And it'll be a great time. I thank you guys for listening to Skep and I this morning. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
By the way, that's on the Minions of the Zoo channel.
Yes, it is. If you haven't subscribed there, search up Minions of the Zoo and subscribe to that. And make sure you click the bell so that you can possibly maybe get notified if YouTube feels like it.
And look up that YouTuber, that Thio Joe.
Yes.
THIOJOE. You won't regret it. I'm serious. He has just got amazing video after amazing video. A lot of great information on there. So have fun. I really enjoyed that. Thanks. I didn't interrupt you, hon.
Brad Young says, I have one question.
Sure.
What is it here?
A nautical mile longer to account for the curve of the Earth. No, it has nothing to do with it. It has to do with the way that ships used to calculate speed. That's a long
good question, actually.
It's longer than now. If you like, I'll get a more succinct answer on it, and we'll cover it as a carryover question for
next
because
week.
yeah, nautical miles and how those came about is a very interesting story, but it deserves a full treatment.
Yes. So thank you guys for listening. Please tune in tomorrow morning for another episode of the Coffee Stream. Have an amazing and safe day, guys, and we'll see you later.
Take care, everybody. Be careful out there.